The extreme theme here on Kicking Out at 2 this week continues with myself, Dave Rosenbluth, and Dennis J. Levy as we cover all things ECW. Last week, we watched the August 28th, 1999 episode of ECW TV. I thought it was a particular episode that I had never seen before that I've always wanted to watch. But actually, I was mistaken. When we were recording this, I was like, oh shit, I don't think this is it. But we kept recording, so it's out there for all of you to listen. Go ahead and check out last week's episode. It's a watch-along of the August 28th, 1999 edition of ECW TV. The main event saw Balls Mahoney and Spike Dudley defeat the Dudley Boys. But this episode that we're going to watch is from ECW on TNN, which is on the cock. It's on the Peacock, if you will. But it's not labeled ECW on TNN. It's just called ECW Wrestling. So we're going to watch the September 3rd, 1999 edition of that episode of ECW where the Dudley Boys say goodbye, and we see the return of Raven. So we're going to watch that with all of you guys. You could find it on Peacock. Grab your cock, grab your Peacock, sign up to your Peacock. Whatever you got to do with your cock, take your Peacock and get on there. Go to the WWE page, go to the ECW section, and you're going to find ECW Wrestling. Now, last week it was ECW Hardcore TV, but this week it's ECW Wrestling. You're going to go to Season 1, Episode 2, and it's 36 minutes long. It's from September the 3rd, 1999. We see Taz defending his title against Tajiri, and the Dudley Boys saying farewell to ECW. So we're going to watch that back. I'm looking forward to that. What about you, Dennis?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely?
Definitely.
I mean, it's an interesting moment. We talked about it, and it kind of carries over from the last episode we watched because the Dudleys vowed to take the titles and bring them to the WWF, and they lost to Balls and Spike. So they're going to say goodbye to ECW here on this episode, and I believe it's one of the very early episodes of ECW on TNN. In fact, like I said, it's the second episode because the first episode, and we talked about it briefly, Paul Heyman didn't like what they filmed, so he told the network, fuck off, and I'm going to give you RVD Jerry Lynn from Hardcore Heaven 99.
Yeah. How do they... There's one question I've been meaning to ask, right?
Okay.
This is related, but unrelated a little bit. What I'm trying to say is that so once upon a time, SmackDown, right?
Yep.
That Vince didn't like a match. I want to say it was Michelle McCool versus Victoria, right? Hated it, right?
Yep.
Hated the match, so he said, go back out there and do it again.
Yep.
There's a live audience.
Oh, it's a live audience, but if they taped it, if it was a taped episode of like SmackDown or something, they can edit it out and put it into the, but yeah, they...
But I'm going to say, what did they tell the audience? This match sucks so bad, we're doing it again?
Sometimes, I've heard stories, sometimes they'll kind of do like an angle on the show, like for the live audience only, like they'll do like something on the video screen where they'll be like, I want a rematch or whatever, and it will just be for the audience that's watching in the arena, and they'll splice it out, and then they'll edit the actual match that they want to air on TV.
I was always just like...
Or they'll have the person come out and cut a promo and be like, I haven't had enough of you yet, let's go, let's finish this right here, right now, you screwed me, etc., bing, bang, boom. Then the person comes out and you have the match.
All right,
I've heard them do some stuff where they've done a lot of cutting and pasting with their editing when it comes to stuff like that. If Vince didn't like a match or if they fuck something up. I remember a story that I read in Bobby Heenan's book where Ric Flair wrestled Randy Savage on an episode of Primetime Wrestling, and it was taped, and Vince hated the match so much that he told Bobby Heenan to go out to the ringside area and tell them that we're done with this. Let's do the finish. We're going home. And he had them come out again later in the evening to film the finish because Vince didn't like the way that he just didn't like what he saw. So, but that's, another story for another day. But let's get into it. ECW, September the 3rd, 1999, Season 1, Episode 2 on Peacock. It's ECW Wrestling. It's under. When I say play, I'm going to hit play, and you're going to watch with me. And from time to time, we'll timestamp. I'm sure I'll play the audio like I did last week. And that will be the end of it, if you will. So, without further ado, in 3, 2, 1, hit play. And this here is Taz
hitting the man.
Coming out. We're still going to watch Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow, right?
Yeah.
You still want to watch that?
Oh, absolutely.
This month? Okay, so Taz, Bam Bam Bigelow, Living Dangerously, 1998, I believe, when they go through the ring. Taz and Tajiri here.
Who's Tajiri with?
Carino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, open up this ECW.
He looks like Billy Kidman from there.
A little bit, yeah, I could see that.
I could have sworn it was Billy Kidman.
I could see that.
Like, jeez, what did he... Anyway,
Taz was one of my favorites in ECW.
Oh,
of course, his WWE, WWF run was a total joke.
Is he a total joke?
Close to it.
All
right, let's just put it this way.
He started off a House of Fire.
With Kurt Angle, yeah. That was a great story. And then they stuck him in the hardcore division, and he was chasing Crash Holly through the McDonald's playscape, for the hardcore title with that 24/7 rule.
Really? I don't remember that.
You don't remember any of that stuff? Oh my god!
I remember.
I liked Crash; those were funny segments. But
I remember El Snow having the title a lot.
I expected Taz to be mixing up with guys like Jericho and Benoit and Angle, and even I think he even wrestled The Rock once briefly, on a Monday Night Raw.
You think they would have done? I mean this. It's an attitude error. You think that they would make him the Hardcore Championship, and then he will turn it to the
FTW title?
Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool.
You would have thought that, right?
That would have been kind of cool. I would have gotten behind that. Yeah, I definitely would have gotten behind that. Taz and Tajiri starting things off.
Now, this is going to be a good one.
Episode of ECW Wrestling. This episode goes, I think, 36 minutes and 43 seconds.
God, I wish WWE could fucking do that. Give us a program that's just hour flat,
Well, I will say that, if the wrestling's good, yeah, you want it to be 2 hours. But, the Monday Night Raws in 3 hours are fucking atrocious. I can't do 3 hours unless it's a pay-per-view. And it's a well-built, good pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But...
yeah, those Raws are just unwatchable.
I wonder...
last year, or even 2 years, to be honest,
Yeah.
You could have, those one, Raw where you're like, holy shit, that was a good one. But, you get one a year. Yeah, when football is right around the season, and the way AEW is going, I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a hot product the last few months.
Yeah.
I'll give them that.
I'm just worried about... Oh, that's awesome.
Nice counter by Taz
that's
here.
That's awesome.
Boom.
Nice Alabama slam.
I like that.
That was a good one.
Remember last week when I was telling you about that ECW show I went to? Taz wrestled Tajiri on that show in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Was it for the title?
It was for the title. It was a lot of fun. They went everywhere. They went through the crowd. I think they went through my section. They were all over the floor. Event? No, the main event of that show was RVD against Spike Dudley.
What?
For the TV title. Yeah, RVD and Spike for the TV title.
For the... Spike is in the main event. Oh, okay.
It was a house show. It was
it
was a live event. That was when they were just trying to really build up Van Dam as this unstoppable TV champion. Taz was the semi-main, I think, with Tajiri. The Dudleys had a match with Balls and Nova, which I was kind of surprised that was a team. I forget who else was on that card. I'll have to look up that card. That was 1999. I'll look that up at some point at a later date. Maybe do a podcast on my story. Well, I'm already telling stories about it, so I don't need to really dedicate a whole show to it.
Yeah.
Chop for chop here with Taz and Tajiri. Ooh, I like this suplex. What do they call this?
Oh, the T-bone.
Is that the T-bone?
Yeah, T-bone suplex.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like that suplex. Man, Taz was legit, man. Taz was a badass.
Yeah.
He really was. He made you... But he was one of the very few guys in wrestling that, you looked at him and you believed that he was... a bad dude,
Yeah.
There's very few out there, but even as a teenager, I was like, that's a bad dude right there.
It's just a shame that he had to be 5'5", you know what I mean? Why couldn't, I wish, he had, Shawn,
Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, not Shawn Michaels, but Shawn
Stasiak.
You give him Shawn Stasiak's body, he would have been one of the biggest stars that ever in the wrestling business.
Well, look at Shawn Stasiak. Shawn Stasiak didn't do shit.
That's what I mean. Shawn Stasiak should have had Taz's body and Taz should have had Sean Stasiak's. You know what I mean?
Ooh, look at these cross forearms to the side of the head. Taz to Tajiri.
Yep.
Just laying him in. Ooh. Stuff like that. That's where I thought it was very, very believable.
Absolutely.
That he was a bad dude, you know? And at this point here, Taz had... It wasn't known that Taz was going to the WWF either. If you remember. It was not known.
Yeah, that's why when he came back to win that title off... who did he win that title off? Was that awesome because he was going to WCW, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
that show, yeah.
Yeah. You actually hear a lot of people like, Taz our trainer. So yeah, so like, so like.
Taz our what?
What was it? It's a traitor.
Oh, Taz a traitor?
Yeah.
That's what the crowd was saying?
No, a whole bunch of people, but they felt that way, you know?
Yeah.
Like you said, it was so like, he's going? He can't go, not Taz, you know?
Yeah.
And that was, I think that was the first shot, like, oh, that's awesome.
Nice counter.
That was a great counter.
The Kata Hajime, and your winner is Taz. Still, the ECW World Champion over to Tajiri with our Extreme Replay. Nice
very
counter.
Short, but very good match.
Yep, right there. Ooh.
Yeah. I was watching an episode of AEW Dark recently, and Taz goes, never turn your back. He goes, if you turn your back, you're going to lose. Right there. Tajiri turns his back. Boom! Taz Hajime.
You know what I like about Taz as a commentator? He calls the action and really breaks it down with his analysis based on his time in the ring. Like he's like an old professional athlete that they put on color, an old football player, old baseball player, whatever, that talks about his experiences in the ring, how the particular moves will hurt you, what kind of effect they'll have, etc., the counters. Like, he really breaks it down. Like, I mean, people, when you look at Taz, his body of work, you look at the stuff he did in ECW and his run as a commentator. Like, that's it. I think adding him on the program to AEW and making him a part of their show, I like him on their show. I could do without him being a manager. He's like a coach with the Team Taz thing with, you know, his son and Will Hobbs. Like and even Ricky Starks. Like, I could do without that. If they just kept him a commentator, I'd be perfectly fine with that. I think he's a welcome addition to their show. You know, he's on Rampage on Friday nights. So they keep him on there.
Was it him and Excalibur?
Him and Excalibur and Mark Henry and Jericho. They got 4, which I think is a lot. That's way too many.
That's too many cooks.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. But
I
really
like Taz and Excalibur though. I do. I listen to them at AEW Dark.
On Dark, yeah. I've never watched Dark, but I hear
you're not missing much. But I like. It's weird. I know it sounds funky, especially because of a guy that was like, hey, WWF doesn't have bar burners anymore, right? But I kind of like watching the jobbers versus like the stars type matches, you know?
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
We've talked about that before, yeah.
That's all Dark is. It's just jobbers versus
pretty
stars,
much, yeah. Pretty much.
And you got one main event. You get the main event. Actually, nobody matches normally.
But I heard Dark they put like 10 matches on.
Sometimes more.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's way too much. That's way too much for a secondary program.
Yeah.
Now it's a third because you have Rampage as their secondary program, which is an hour.
And I think they do another one too. So I think they
do Dark, and then they do Dark Elevation with Big Show and Tony Schiavone.
They got one on Monday, one on Tuesday.
That's way too much.
Then you got Dynamite on Wednesday.
Then you got Rampage on Friday.
And I want to say, can't put a mortgage on it. I think they actually do another Dark on the weekends. I think.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. That's a lot. That's way too much. That's way too much. Joey Styles in the ring.
You know what she kind of had? Like, and I love what the WWF still might have it. You know, after Raw or SmackDown, they have like the talking thing.
Yeah.
I think that would go. I think that would be a big hit if AEW did that.
If they did like a talk show, kind of like a post show, like a post game.
But they don't have of course, they don't have a fucking, network like
streaming service and no.
But even if they did like go to YouTube, go to AEW on YouTube.
What do we got here? Joel Gertner coming out.
We gotta listen to this.
Your honor, your pleasure, and your privilege to be standing in the presence of the man who is now, as of this moment, the no longer unnamed TNN color commentator. Look at Styles.
Sport coat with the shorts, awesome.
And true host of this program, the quintessential stud muffin, Joel. I'm just like Rubik's Cube. The more you play with it, the harder it gets.
Pretty good.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So you commented that you liked the sports coat with the shorts look for Gertner.
Oh,
but
it's so
Tommy
obnoxious,
Dreamer,
it's
in the
awesome.
last episode we watched, had a golf shirt with mesh shorts, and you say he looked like a fucking idiot.
No.
Explain to me.
It's two different universes. One person actually walked out of the door and said, I'm rocking this outfit. As in Tommy Dreamer. Joe Gertner goes, I'm going to wear the most obnoxious outfit there is because that's my character. That's my gimmick. You know what I mean? That's why Gertner looks awesome and Tommy Dreamer looks like a fucking idiot. But one person, he took his personal clothes and said, I'm gonna try to be fashionable, and you look like a fucking idiot. He knows he's not fashionable because that's his gimmick. That's why he's awesome.
Okay. All right.
All
right. Fair enough. Fair point here. Jerry Lynn. What's he got to say? Let's
fucking
hear.
love Jerry Lynn.
As you know by now, TNN is in the house, and we will continue to show everybody and the world the difference between WWF, WCW,
Wow.
and Extreme Championship Wrestling.
Wow.
What was the promo he did for that pay-per-view? For WWF, that was hilarious.
Jerry Lynn?
Yeah. He went like, or like, Wargames, or, I don't know, he did something, he did a promo, he was in WWF New York at the time.
Oh, yeah. He did like...
What the fuck was he thinking?
I don't know what the hell he was doing. Something about like...
I'm sorry, he lost...
It sounded like
he
lyrics
lost his
to
WWF contract the second he did that. The second. You could actually...
I kind of remember what he did too. Like he was
talking normal.
He was talking normal, and he was like, "I'm gonna kill you," or something like that.
Yeah. I thought it was a reference to the pay-per-view. It was like
because he wasn't on the show.
Armageddon.
Something like
I'm
that.
like, yo, Jerry, you're not gonna recover from that.
I don't remember to be exact. Oh,
Billy.
Bill Alfonso in the house with his annoying whistle.
It was annoyingly awesome.
What's he got to say?
Some big ratings with RVD, and you may have proved yourself in hardcore heaven, but you're not gonna get another title match with a whole effing show tonight. There's no way that you're gonna prove yourself.
Oh! He slapped the shit out of him.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
What the heck?
But I think he can handle a Bill Alfonso slap.
There's RVD. RVD and Jerry Lynn. Great matches. Those two had some great matches.
But both those guys, they can fucking wrestle broomsticks.
Yeah.
Make them look good.
Too bad that they didn't do anything in WWE with each other. Actually, you know what? I think they had a match on Sunday Night Heat, but it was like it wasn't even built up. It was like a quick one and done. All right, here we go. So here are the Dudleys.
The audio.
Let's play the audio for this because I think they're going to cut a promo and pretty much say goodbye to. We'll play it when they grab the microphone, but this was their last ever show in ECW before they went to the WWF. We are currently at 15 minutes and 55 seconds here. There's Gertner with Joey Styles.
So what's the? I don't remember. Is it just this brace? Is that just a gimmick or like?
He kind of did what Bob Orton Jr. did. You know, when Cowboy Bob Orton had the cast on his arm and he wore it forever because he got a broken arm, but they were like, "Oh, you have to be healed by now," and he would just kind of milk it, and then it got to the point where it just became a part of his thing with the bow tie. As we see the Dudleys now going at it with Spike and Balls. They're going to take the titles, or they're going to attempt to take the titles, I should say, to the WWF. This is a rematch from the match that we saw on last week's episode of Kicking Out at 2, for those of you that follow along and watch faithfully here.
It's got to be a quick match. These shows are only half an hour, right?
This is 36 minutes. The last one was 45 minutes, so I don't know why this is 36 minutes. But maybe they had to edit some content out that wasn't supposed to be in there. Right. There had been a fair amount. I'm surprised the ECW content from the WWE Network is on Peacock.
A little, yeah. You got to figure NBC wants to be super family oriented.
It's just they've edited a fair amount of stuff off the network that was even WWF content. Stuff with Goldust that they put on Peacock when Vince McMahon dropped the N-bomb on pay-per-view. You remember that?
Vince did?
Yeah, with him and Booker T.
Oh, okay, so that'd be the A, not the hard R.
Not the hard R. He got him at the A.
Okay.
Not the hard R, that's for sure. But yeah,
what the heck was he thinking though? Was Booker like?
It was
okay, or was he like, "Yo, you're my brother"? How did that go down?
So I'm just repeating what I saw for those of you listening out there. Okay, I'm not going to. I'm not. All right. So basically, Vince saw John Cena in the back, and this was when Cena was a good guy, and Vince was like, "What's good in the hood?" And he high-fived Cena and this, that, and the other, and they were talking, and then he was like, "Word up my N-word with the A," and strutted away, and Booker T was eyes bugged out of his head, tell me he didn't just say that. And it was one of the most awkward things I had ever watched. You can YouTube it. Just YouTube Vince McMahon says the N-word. And you'll find it.
Was this on a paper?
Yeah, it was like a Survivor Series,
okay,
I think
I
it
can
was.
imagine USA or...
Oh, no, they wouldn't have allowed that.
Or even more so, UPN be like, yeah, I'm okay using the N-word.
They wouldn't have allowed it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Boom! Nice. Sit down.
But talking
Power
about
bomb
UPN
off the second rope.
African Americans, I gotta say the Dave Chappelle joke with UPN was really funny. Underpaid Negroes. I'm like, that's really funny.
My God.
That's amazing.
And the fact you just said that on this podcast.
I didn't say the A or the
I know.
I'm just messing with you. There is a baseball league called the Negro League. You know what I mean?
They don't even like using that term anymore.
I can't say I blame them.
Yeah. Let's get back to the action before nobody listens to this podcast anymore. Thanks to you.
And if you are of the African American demographic, if I offend you, I apologize. You can bring it up Kicking Out too. And
you can send hate tweets at Kicking Out too.
Hey, hate tweets. They bring in the audience too.
Yeah. Chair shot by Balls Mahoney there to
Yep.
Bubba Ray Dudley and to Devon as well on their farewell here. This is for the ECW World Tag Team Championship. No rules as always. We've talked about Balls, talked about Spike.
Yep.
We've talked about the Dudleys here and their time in ECW and in WWE. You weren't really the biggest fan of their WWE run. Let's talk a little bit about the stuff they did in TNA years later.
Yeah, that was okay.
Did you like the Bully Ray stuff when he was the singles and
So I did at first, but I hated. I know that you thought they were okay, but
Aces and Eights?
yeah, that game.
See, I like that.
I hated them.
I mean, granted, maybe because I was a Sons of Anarchy fan and I like the motorcycle stuff, but I thought that was a cool story. And the way that they had set it up. What we got here?
Out of curiosity, did you finish all of Sons of Anarchy?
Yes, I did. I've watched it multiple times.
When they went to Ireland, I tapped out. I'm like,
really?
This is terrible. Because the first 2 seasons were awesome.
I like the Ireland story.
And then they kidnapped the baby, and I'm like, I'm done. This is stupid.
Yeah.
And then even the guy who kidnapped the baby dies in like 3 episodes, and it wasn't even by them. I'm just like, this is fucking stupid. Anyway, I was done. Season 3, halfway
Boom!
through.
Powerbomb through the thumbtack table.
Yep.
Not a flaming table. This is just the thumbtack table.
Actually, if you had to sign up for one,
I'll do the thumbtacks before the fire.
Me too.
I'll do the thumbtacks before the fire.
Me too.
Is this it here? 1, 2. Oh, Spike with the save. Spike with the save. But yeah, I thought their stuff in TNA was okay. I liked the Aces and Eights stuff. This is the finish here. Boom, 3D. And the Dudley boys are your winners. And they're taking the ECW belts home to the WWF.
Oh, are
according to them. At least that's what they think here. Let's play the audio.
This is when the Featherman comes back, right?
I think, yes, when Raven does show up. The Featherman? That's what you called him?
I forgot why. He did something stupid.
So they're showing a replay here of the Dudleys winning the tag team titles over Balls and Spike. Oh, that was acid drop through the table on the outside there. Chair shot. And another chair shot. Excuse me for yawning. I apologize.
You're a prison guard that works all night, so.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I do work a lot of crazy hours with my big boss man schedule. I don't carry.
If you don't go as a big boss man, you're a fucking idiot.
That would be a pretty cool costume.
You got half the outfit already, ready to go.
Yeah, somewhat. Let's play the audio here for Joey Styles and Joel Gertner.
8-time World Tag Team Champions. I guess I should be a big shoe and say, hey, glad it happened on ECW on TNA. But I'm not glad. Let's be honest. You're witnessing a very uncomfortable and scary moment. Everyone.
Uncomfortable and scary moment. You hear that?
Yep.
The Dudleys are going to leave our World Tag Team title belts. The Dudley boys are back! The Dudley boys are back! They're going to kick us when we're down! What the hell else? What kind of trouble are they going to make now for us? Damn it!
Shut up the building and run, boys.
In ECW, boys become men.
We're going to play the audio for this last part.
Where are they going with all this? I'm afraid to speculate where they're going, but there's only one way to find out. Yes, watch the monitor. You're so healthy. Just leave with our help. ECW, men become heroes. Heroes to whom do you two think you are? The World Wrestling Federation. themselves, aren't they? Why not? So before we take these belts and jump on I-95, they're gonna lead with our World Tag Team title belt. How embarrassing! Damn!
Although he claimed that they were gods, they're not quite getting the type of worship that they desire right now.
Typical disrespectful white trash from Queens.
Wow.
Why is it every time Brahma opens his mouth, I cringe and really fear for what he might say? Before we take these belts to the true city of hardcore wrestling, Stamford, Connecticut.
Oh, man. Really getting that heat.
We're watching wrestling history, and it's not good news for ECW. There's one more thing that we gotta do. Now that we've beaten this company, now we're gonna ruin this company.
Oh, wow.
We are gonna suck the life, the blood, the soul, the guts, the backbone of ECW right out. We're gonna do something we should have did and finished a long time ago. Chant any name you want. If they hit this ring, they're getting jacked up, hit with 3D, and out of wrestling for good. Now, if you got one little hair on that big fat ass of yours, Tommy Dreamer,
Huh.
get your broken back, useless piece of dog trash ass out here and defend this miserable 6-year-old company that you broke your stinking back for. Tommy Dreamer is ECW.
Oh, you're filling it.
This company, but how cowardly of the Dudley boys to pick a fight with a man who has 2 herniated discs in his back. Tommy can't wrestle. Tommy may never wrestle again.
This montage of them doing 3D to the stars is really good.
Genius of pro wrestling, Vince McMahon. This is ridiculous. We've got Tommy Dreamer in the aisle being restrained by executive producer Paul Heyman. On Monday night. There's Francine. Look.
Francis.
Just another $2 whore happened to show up.
Exactly.
Here we go.
We will go on Monday Night Raw and take these belts that we have now for 8 times, and we should damn own and throw them the hell down on national television. Tommy Dreamer has sustained more punishment than anyone in the history of the most hardcore promotion in professional wrestling. It's a wonder he can walk. Yeah, you do remember that night, Dreamer. But here's the secret. When that poor girl lay in that hospital bed, me and Devon used to sneak in. And as
Oh.
Now, this is a bad taste. This is ridiculous. This is horrible. And this has got to be eating Tommy Dreamer alive. The Dudleys put his girlfriend out of wrestling for him.
going to, Tommy? And what's worse, imagine how Francine feels.
You turn
And I'd love to know how Francine feels.
and you pick up
I've asked her many times, and I know how she feels.
Oh, here we go, and we're off.
Yep.
Tommy Dreamer is in the ring. Tommy Dreamer has attacked the 8-time World Tag Team Champions, and Tommy Dreamer has two herniated discs in his back.
Oh, it's an official match.
Double-sided Russian leg sweep by Dreamer and
Yeah,
barely
the referee,
saved.
yeah.
Cover on Bubba Ray
Oh,
Dudley.
yeah, we knew.
We've got an impossible ECW World Tag Team title matchup.
It's not a tag team match, it's a handicap match. No pun intended. Tommy Dreamer doesn't belong in the ring. And while he may, as you said, embody the fighting spirit of ECW, his brain is the size of a watermelon seed, and this is not good. They're going to cripple him.
But the odds are being evened up as the Queen of Extreme, Francine, just handed Tommy Dreamer a partner.
It's not really a partner, Joey. It's cold, hard steel in the form of a ladder in the ring.
Dreamer with the teeter
When I see that spot, I always think of Eminem.
Team champion.
Yeah. Oh, and Mercury got his face all busted up.
Every day at the playground, do you?
Sign guy behind you. Behind you. Bingo. The next time he sees, he's going to say smelling salt. Dreamer now wedging that ladder in between the second and top turnbuckles. Dreamer can barely walk. And quite frankly, has no business being in the ring. Bubba Ray Dudley whipped into that ladder. Devon whipped into Bubba Ray.
Oh. Poor Devon.
Tommy Dreamer with two herniated discs in his back is battling for the honor of ECW and taking on both ECW World Tag Team Champions, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley, all by himself here in New York City. Reversal.
Well,
And Tommy's back driven into the steel ladder.
that's suplex.
That was a nice suplex.
Tommy in half.
Looks like he's attached to the back. You see Tommy Dreamer full determination off the back. That injured back right into the ladder and smacking Bubba in the canvas. Oh.
What a look at it, Dreamer. Careening into that ladder and then Bubba Ray Dudley still not happy. Drops him right on the back of his neck. Tommy, this must just be numb right now. I mean, with that pain, he has bypassed excruciating pain. He must be numb.
He can use all the determination in the world, all the memories of old girlfriends. He can have all the spit vinegar running through his body, but it doesn't matter.
Where did no one,
Have been defeated by
C.W. Anderson,
yeah, where did
Danny
those guys
Dory.
come from? They're all like selling bumps.
I don't know.
Did we miss something in these?
Probably during the replay.
Stop the Dudleys, but the Dudleys cannot be stopped. They're going to disgrace even side guy Dudley. Their own brother trying to stop them. He knows they're going too far. The Dudley boys are going to disgrace the ECW World Tag Team Championship in the career of a 28-year-old ECW original, Tommy Dreamer, here in only the second week of this series, ECW on TNA. And now the Dudleys are calling for 3D, the Dudley Death Drop, and that will indeed spell the end of Dreamer. Tommy with the counter, DDT.
Oh. I will say, for as much adversity as ECW had gone through in several years with losing talents, they knew how to pull the rabbit out of the hat and, like, make up for it. And this was, I think, a good makeup. Like, Raven returning.
Yeah.
You know? It was a month prior to this. Eric Bischoff had a meeting with WCW talent and had said to them, if anybody doesn't want to be here anymore, or, you know, morale was down, business was down, and, you know, he said, if anyone's got an issue, anyone doesn't want to be here anymore, doesn't like where they're at, then, you know, I'm offering to give you guys, you know, full releases. And Raven was the only person that that stood up and said, I'm gone. And Bischoff gave him a release, but under the condition that you can't go to the WWF. You know, I'll let you go to ECW, but you can't go right to the WWF. So he stayed with ECW, I think, for a year. I think he was with them for a year, and then he ended up going to the WWF. But I like the dynamic of Raven coming back and helping Dreamer win, and of course the history that Raven and Dreamer had as as rivals, you know, in ECW.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch. I added another layer to the Raven Tommy Dreamer story because, you know, it was a heated rivalry in ECW for so long.
I can't make it who's on his shirt, but oh well, doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't make much of a difference. But
Right,
yeah,
a TV show from the late '90s.
that is the end of this ECW Watch Along here of the September 3rd edition of ECW on TNN, ECW Wrestling. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got to see the Dudley Boys final match. Raven returned, Taz and Tajiri, a little bit of Jerry Lynn in there, and all was right with the world. So, you know, we're going to continue this ECW theme here this month, in the month of September. Next week, what do you want to watch?
I really want to see Bam Bam Taz.
Okay.
Once I saw that clip, I'm like, I want to rewatch that.
Okay.
I
So
love
we're
it
going to
so
watch
much.
Taz, Bam Bam Bigelow from ECW's Living Dangerously 1998 next week here on Kicking Out at 2. Thank you again, Dennis.
Thank you.
All right. And with that being said, this Extreme 3 count is about to go down, and we'll see you all next week.